My name is AJ Barrera. I don't chase criminals. I don't carry a badge. I chase whispers. Whispers from the other side. When someone hears footsteps in the hallway, but their grandma's been dead since '93, I am the one they call. I have been doing this work for over 20 years. I don't wear a trench coat. I wear trust, and sometimes a very comfortable cardigan. Every goddamn reading is a puzzle. Every tear, a clue. Every vague sentence I say somehow fits exactly what you needed to hear. Tonight, I dive deeper, not into the astral plane, no, but into the digital ectoplasm of a video game, because even ghosts need ray tracing. He is saying he's bringing worlds, in reality is bringing a controller and a delusion, while trying to contact his FPS, fragments per seance. Buongiorno, buon pomeriggio, buonasera, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time of the day you're watching this video. How are you doing, my fantastic, lovely friends, lovely patrons? I hope you're doing great. So, today's video is quite an interesting one. Have you ever wondered what happens when Medium plays the game Medium?
Bullshit detected. Take precautions.
You know, that game that was released in 2021. Okay, hear me out. Medium isn't just another ghost hunting cheap thrill. It's actually a pretty clever investigative game. You play Marianne, a medium who's stuck straddling two worlds, the real and the spirit realm. The split screen mechanic? Genius. It lets you explore both dimensions simultaneously, solving puzzle and unraveling a mystery that's spooky but smart. The atmosphere? Definitely creepy, but in a tasteful way. No cheap jump scares, just good old-fashioned psychological horror vibes. The story keeps you hooked, even if you're an hardcore skeptic like me. So yeah, if you want a paranormal game that respects your brain cells and doesn't just throw cheap ghost tricks at you, Medium is worth a try. Just don't expect real spirits to show up. Those are still free of charge. Well, the game itself, as Alessio said, it is quite interesting. I played it at release because it was on Xbox Game Pass, and honestly, it's a very nice, neat, compelling story set in Poland. The issue is not with the game itself, of course, but it's the person who is playing the game. BuzzFeed Multiplayer asked AJ Barrera, a detective medium as he calls himself, to play the game and give his take on the game, his review, his professional take on the game itself.
Bollocks.
Let's have a look at this video all together and see what we can find out. I love me some mediums. Oh boy.
It all starts
with a dead girl.
Usually.
Always a dead girl.
My name's AJ Barrera. I'm a psychic medium and intuitive investigator. I've been doing this work for nearly 2 decades, and I've been healing lives, but also working with cold cases and missing persons cases with active, retired law enforcement and private investigators. As a psychic medium... Audient and clairsentience of someone past.
And overall, a bullshitter. That's my professional opinion.
Spirit, meaning that I'm clairvoyant, clairaudient, and clairsentient. So if someone passed with their pain in their chest, of a heart attack, I feel pain in my chest. I also hear information as a thought when it comes through as well.
Stop it. Get some help.
So these guys already make a lot of claims that he's clairvoyant, he's a psychic medium, he's an what is it? The detective, ghost detective, all sorts of nonsense. But the best claim of all is that he claims to have worked together with like retired police enforcers, private investigators on cold cases and stuff like that. I have done a quick check to see if this guy was ever linked to any of those cases. Well, the result is...
It's all bollocks, isn't it?
The result is completely a big fat zero. Fun fact, no reputable detective agency, no reputable police force will ever ask these clowns for help. Never. Because there is the risk of mudding the evidence or like completely derailing the entire investigation. And we had big example already in the past. So AJ Barrera, I think you're full of shit.
It felt so real. The blood on my cheek, the cold sweat running down my skin. No wonder people used to think I was strange.
Yeah, me too.
If they only knew.
Funeral at 12:30, ultrasound, funeral at 9 o'clock. Man, how many funerals does this guy have?
It's a funeral parlor. What do you expect?
Well, duh. Let's do this the other way.
There's always another way. There's something there. Jack's type.
I bet you can't do this trick, AJ Barrera. You cannot spot object when they're covered by other objects. You don't have X-ray vision. Boo, fake medium.
So that there was like a little premonition. Butterflies.
I used to have a thing for 'em. I guess they just used to make me happy.
Butterflies are actually a common sign in the spirit world where our loved ones will send us messages. So I wonder if Jack's gonna try to send her a message.
Oh yes, butterfly. Apparently when you see a butterfly after someone dies, it's not just a bug, it's a message from the spirit world. Because nothing says eternal soul like an insect with a 2-week lifespan and a brain of the size of a breadcrumb. This brilliant hypothesis comes from the new age Pinterest crowd, psychic mediums with Wi-Fi, and people who think Mercury retrograde affects toasters' ovens. Yes, ancient Greeks used the word psyche for both soul and butterfly. They also believed in minotaurs, so let's calm down. Mediums like AJ Barrera and friends love telling you that butterflies are your dead grandma saying hi, because apparently haunting your kitchen light switch was too direct. Let's be clear. This is superstition. A nice one maybe, but still based on nothing. No science, no evidence, just grief plus confirmation bias equals winged nonsense. So, next time someone says that butterfly is a message from heaven, you can politely reply, "No, Karen, it's looking for sugar just like your favorite medium."
All right, Jack's rising back from the dead. And by the way, they don't normally look this way when they come back from the dead. They don't look all creepy and freaked out. They come back normal. It's interesting too.
Oh, okay. And let me guess, AJ. You know that because you see them on daily basis. But again, we cannot corroborate this claim at all because you see them, but the rest of us cannot see them because you are quote-unquote special. Bullshit.
Because Jack's mouth is not even moving, and sometimes how spirit communicates is actually through a soul-to-soul connection or telepathy or through symbols.
Soul-to-soul connection. Explain to me what is a soul-to-soul connection. But before that, AJ, prove that souls are real. Prove it. To this day, no evidence has been presented that can actually corroborate the existence of souls, let alone that symbolism that you see is actually can be connected to an hypothetical spirit realm.
Give anything to have that opportunity.
Yep.
It still hurt like hell. I love you too, Daddy.
So Jack is for sure her father.
I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. Divided. Torn between two realities.
I agree, two realities, the physical and the spirit world.
So, to me, there is only one reality, and to people like me, one reality. The physical world. That's it. Rest, it has still to be proven.
Typically what happens is that people are either born into it, they have a natural ability, or either they develop that ability. There's a sense that her father knew there was something that was there, so either she saw spirit, felt spirit at a very young age. She also grew up in mortuary, so obviously she was very sensitive to that energy.
If it was the case, probably this person will grow, I don't know, either a total indifference towards death itself, or maybe hatred for that, or in some weird cases, maybe this person can grow a morbid fascination to death. I don't know.
She would naturally pick that up. We're all intuitive. We're not all mediums, but we're all intuitive because mediumship is something that has to be developed and worked on. We have to think mediumship as a muscle, as a brain. So the more that we work with it, the stronger and better that it gets.
Not all the mediums think that way because they think that it's a natural born gift. Some of them, the believers, the one more connected to religious beliefs, they think that this is a gift from God. So who's right? You're right, they're right. Who is right? Tell me, AJ. In my opinion, mediumship is wishful thinking. Mediumship is like a make-believe thing, and for the most part, mediumship is just scam. That's all there is.
We're walking through the woods, I think trying to find a little girl, which who looks for a little girl like this? You know you're only looking for trouble. You won't typically actually see those footprints as a vision. Depends on the clairvoyance or depending on the medium or the psychic. So some people may see it as a vision. They may get it as a thought or as a feeling or as a pull.
Thanks goodness, AJ, that you made this clear, because we were all believing that, like in the video game, you guys could actually see footprints on the ground. Like, you know, spectral footprints and not actual footprints.
Ok, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
Come cazzo si fa a credere a ste cose?
You know, I think most of us live in two worlds without really knowing it because we're so taught to believe in routine and reality, and we're not taught to believe in, you know, the Easter Bunny, Santa Claus, so our perception changes over.
No, because they're not real, you moron! They're not real! The difference is that we believe in the real world. You believe in fantasies that have not been proven so far.
Years, especially when we get older, children usually around 12, 13 years old lose that perception of spirit world and energies and imaginary friends.
Yes, because they go to school, and in school they teach you about this magical thing that is science. That's why they stop believing. Because they understand that most likely the things that were believing when they were children are a load of bollocks. They were good at for the time, but they're not good anymore. Because they need better answer for real problems. Answer that, by the way, you, AJ, cannot provide in any way, shape, or form.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
It's missing. Maybe I could replace it with something.
All right, so we need something to open this up here. And then we hear giggles of a little girl.
Huh?
And that's probably a ghost or spirit. All right, phone ringing. There it is. All right. And there's voices, so it sounds like a little girl talking. So sometimes when I do my work, it sounds like whispers, and this is a great example.
If this is the case, AJ, I would recommend to have your head checked up properly, because it's not normal that people hear whispers.
I'm here.
Boom.
No, there's definitely something. Trust me, you made the right call sending me.
Even the objects here had auras.
That's what I mean. So everything has energy that we touch. A phone, a table, a tree, everything has energy. So when she picked up this phone, she felt the aura, the vibration from that. If you guys ever go antique shopping and you guys pick up an old jewelry box or a table, or you bring home a chair and all of a sudden you have paranormal activity, yeah, that's because you brought home that energy. So I always tell people, bless the energy, clear the energy, sage, Palo Santo, because you don't want that energy into your own home. We're looking for...
Yes, as sage smudge sticks have ever worked in the first place. What the heck are you talking about? So objects have energy, residual energy apparently. I mean, it's difficult also for me to unpack this claim, because I don't know where to start. It's so stupid that I don't know where to start from. No, objects don't have their own energy unless this energy is like produced somehow by the object itself. For example, your smartphone can overheat because the battery is running, there is electrical current. In that sense, yes, there is energy, but the rest is like wishful thinking and mumbo jumbo.
Does it sound crazy? In the beginning of the video, there was like a moth or butterfly, and in this video, right by the vehicle, is actually a drawing of a butterfly. So I'm trying to interpret my symbolism as a medium. So let's see what's in this vehicle.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's jam.
It's part of the game, you doofus. It's part of the game. Yes, at the beginning they show you butterflies, and they show you butterflies here because the game is programmed this way. You know, the developers are telling a story. You don't need to use your mumbo jumbo ability as well to try to interpret what is going on. Because in reality, this doesn't happen.
If there's a tool or something we can use here. Screwdriver. Okay.
Ow!
That's definitely paranormal right there.
No, you're messing up with a screwdriver. Probably you touched the cable or the horn. It's not paranormal. It happened in real life as well. Maybe in this case, and if I recall correctly, in this part of the game, nothing paranormal happened in this part. Nothing paranormal. It was her messing up with the screwdriver, and it just happened that she has touched the cable of the horn. That's all. But again, when somebody is trained to see paranormal, even when there is nothing paranormal going on, they will always see paranormal.
Is on the floor. And Spirit would mess with electronics quite often, or batteries. They'd like to drain batteries.
Suddenly, AJ's mind went static. Yes, probably the ghosts inhabiting his house are saying, "What the fuck are you talking about, man?" No, AJ, ghosts do not mess with electronics. This is a urban myth. In fact, I had the pleasure to talk with real investigators, and they are very well known in the community, and these people are very well known. Especially, I interviewed PNC Paranormal. I asked Paul about this particular fact, and he said that it never happened once. Never happened once. No, they don't mess with electronics. They don't drain your battery. This is only a myth perpetrated by, guess what? Guess who? Television. Nothing to do with paranormal.
So now the hotel lobby bell is going off and the lights flickering, which is a common thing that spirits do. And basically, this is a haunting.
No. If this is the case, as I said at the beginning, probably you have defective wiring. I never heard a real professional paranormal investigator saying that if the lights flicker, it's a ghost. Never. Never once.
So touch the bell. This is the form of psychometry.
No, this is the form of bullshit.
All right, there's like bats or something, and we're using a spirit shield. Moths and spirit rolls are dangerous. Use a spirit shield to burn through them.
Be careful.
So a spirit shield would be basically psychic self-defense. I always tell people protect yourself in the white light. Protect yourself with mirrors or a brick wall so you don't allow other energies to come into you. That's kind of similar, but
How the fuck mirrors protects you from energy? Explain to me the mechanics, because I don't know.
I don't think we actually have like a power that we can throw out there as a shield, but I think so.
Thank you for clarifying this, because if not, people would actually believe that a video game is a one-to-one recreation of reality. But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this person would have said, no, we can do that because, you know, magic.
A psychic shield mentally or subconsciously that we can put around us when we're out in public or with different people would totally make sense.
No, it's called to be an introvert. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this AJ Barrera character. So I came by his website, and of course he makes a lot of claims in this website, like as I said at the beginning of the video, that he cooperated quite often with like authorities and private detectives and families involved like in real cases. I was not able to find any evidence that corroborates his claims. As I said, this type of people, usually they give you very vague statements, so it's difficult to trace down what they're referring to. Most likely, he worked a couple of times, and it was requested by some family members who believes in this kind of stuff, because don't forget that people in desperate when they're desperate, they are willing to do anything, unfortunately. As I said, I came across his website, and again, I was like interested more in the appointment part, because this is where the magic happens. So here what it says: psychic medium and intuitive counselor AJ Barrera offer both intuitive guidance session, which means basically where he just gives some suggestions and gives some ideas, and psychic mediumship readings. That's very important. You can choose to book your own private reading with AJ in an intimate and personal Zoom video consultation, because this is important. These type of readings are made only online, not face-to-face. In-person readings are no longer being conducted, and this actually gives me away something, in the sense that in-person reading, you will have to apply cold reading and Barnum statement for the most part. But in a Zoom call, is able also to do a good research and have information about the person written somewhere in the screen, effectively applying a hard reading method. That's my assumption, that's my opinion in this regard. So it's very suspicious how much all this nonsense will cost to a person. So it's for a Zoom video private reading of merely 30 minutes, guys, $350. $350 for one person. But maybe you want more, then you have the other package. If you pay $550, you can talk with this medium. I don't want to say the word. This what I believe is a scam artist. For 60 entire minutes. By the way, if you want to invite friends, it's $100 each. So be careful, be mindful of that fact. So probably, I don't know, the fact that there are more people actually is distracting for him or something like this, or maybe his time is so valuable that he needs to charge people who wants to assist. So, people, what have we learned so far? That two things: that in my opinion, Medium the game is actually a great game, and it's a great adventure, point and click adventure, if you want to like give a genre to this game. It's a very compelling story, nice story, and it was produced here in Poland. So, and to be honest, the game is solid. I don't think it's very long to beat, but I think it took me like around 7 to 8 hours to beat it completely, something like that, but you can search online. And the second thing, we have learned that people like this AJ Barrera, unfortunately do exist, and unfortunately they are those kind of people that we all debunkers are trying to warn you about. These are grifters. These are like people who you need to stay clear from, because all they want is not to help you, is they want your money. That's all they want. They want your money, and they know how vulnerable people can be in a state of desperation. So be mindful, be careful at all costs, all the time, about these individuals. So this message is for you, J Barrera. Yes, my opinion is that you're a scam artist, and nothing more, nothing less. I recommend you to contact Kenny Biddle, and maybe you can schedule an appointment, because they are offering a price of $500,000 if somebody can actually prove that they are psychic. In other words, if you can put your money where your mouth is, you can get the big price. But I doubt that somebody like you will need just a mere $500,000. You can earn more by doing what you're doing best. In any case, folks, this is all I have for you today. I hope you have a fantastic evening, rest of the day, and please stay safe, stay away from grifters, play good video games, and I see you all the next time. Ciao!